Before Detroit became the automobile capital of the world, it was well known for another industry. Hi everyone, Ken here. Today we're uncovering the Whitney Mansion in Grosse Point, Michigan. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. In the mid-1800s, long before the invention of automobiles, Detroit saw its first major economic boom in the lumber industry. Starting in 1857, David Whitney Jr. began a lumber empire that expanded from Michigan's Upper Peninsula down through Indiana and east through Ohio and Pennsylvania. He further capitalized on his lumber ventures by founding his own shipping company, which only added to his fortune. By the time the Dodges and Fords were manufacturing automobiles, the Whitneys were already considered old money and the top of Detroit's high society. But perhaps that is getting a bit ahead in our story. Back in the 1800s, Detroit's Millionaires Row along Woodward Avenue was seeing the construction of the city's first mega mansions. We covered Detroit's Millionaires Row in this video previously. I'll have it linked at the end of this one if you haven't seen it yet. In 1890, David Whitney Jr. started construction of his own 21,000 square foot mansion along Millionaires Row. The exterior was crafted from pink jasper and accentuated with copper accents and Tiffany glass windows. After 4 long years of construction, the house was finally ready for Jr. to move in. However, his mansion would soon be outdone by his son, D.C.'s estate. D.C. Whitney purchased an oversized lot at 237 Lakeshore Drive in Grosse Point, Michigan, just north of Detroit, and hired architect Walter McFarlane to design for him an imposing Georgian Revival-style mansion. The exterior was clad in white clapboard and complemented by fluted Corinthian columns, both below an ornate pediment and to cap off each end of the main bulk of the house. The rear facade was nearly a mirror image of the front, except for the 2 sunrooms taking the place of columns extending from each side of the mansion. The grounds were landscaped in the likeness of a private park, with fountains and benches placed below mature trees. Paths were laid out all about the property, with some leading to greenhouses and others taking you by scenic gardens. Though many of the outbuildings for the staff were hidden from view, being disguised in ivy to blend in with the landscape. Let's make our way back around front and pass through the portico to find the main entrance. This leads us into the stair hall, flanked by columns supporting an ornate plaster ceiling. Directly ahead of us is the grand, bifurcated staircase rounding out at its landing. On the other side of the window wall is the courtyard. We'll head back inside and begin making our way from room to room as we circle it. The first room we'll explore is the music room, complete with parquet wood floors and a built-in pipe organ. This room would double as the ballroom, and all of the furniture could be cleared out to make space for dancing. Next, we'll travel deeper into the house to find the more intimate parlor, which the family would have used more casually. Once again, the ceilings are finished out with elaborate plaster detailing, and a series of half-height bookcases skirt the walls. But we'll soon find the parlor was merely a precursor to the library, with each wall boasting ceiling-height bookcases broken up by gilded pilasters. Next up is the billiards room, clad floor-to-ceiling in rich wood paneling glowing warmly under the light of Tiffany chandeliers. In the dining room, we find the family's collection of fine china and silvers on full display, though the complex terracotta fireplace surround truly steals the spotlight. The Whitneys only used the dining room while entertaining. For most meals, they would sit here in the breakfast room. And for the sake of flow, we skipped each sunroom while we made a ring around the house. The larger of the 2 was used primarily as a conservatory with an Asian flair. The smaller of the 2 was utilized more as a quiet retreat, more like a secluded reading nook in the house. Upstairs we find several bedrooms, though we will only take a look at a few of them, starting with the nursery, which was finished out with painted wall panels. Mr. and Mrs. Whitney kept separate rooms, as was customary for the time. Her suite was by far the largest and the most lavish, with no expense being spared for comfort. In a time when several of the neighbors still relied on outhouses, she had her own full bathroom with hot and cold water. Beyond this, her dressing room was finished out with carpeted floors, mirrored doors, silk wallpaper, and electric lighting. As time went on, Detroit boomed before it busted, and suddenly there was no market for such lavish estates. Whitney's estate, known as Ridgemont, was sold off for a fraction of what it was originally worth, and in 1954 the mansion was demolished and the land was subdivided for new development. His father's mansion, however, has weathered the ebb and flow of industry in Detroit and has survived to this day, with many of its architectural elements having been restored. Today, his mansion, known simply as the David Whitney House, has found a new life as a restaurant. As Detroit continues to recover, with more attention being given to historic preservation and adaptive reuse, we can only hope that the small handful of mansions left will be saved. What did you think about the 2 Whitney mansions? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section, and while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.